Hi, my name's MJ. I'm a trans man. I started my medical transition almost a decade ago. This included top surgery when I was about 28 years old. I'm 35 now. I also have a biological son who I gave birth to before I started my medical transition. I wanted to do a video on my experience having top surgery as a parent. I know when the topics of transitioning and parenting combine, it really ruffles people's feathers. But the reality is trans people are going to transition and some of us are parents. And back when I had top surgery, I wish I had somebody like me who had already gone through it, who could like give me some insight as to what to expect, maybe pointers, or just to feel less alone and less intimidated. So one thing I remember being very stressed out about when I had top surgery is the fact that my loved ones really wanted to take my son to visit me at the hospital after. I got surgery right outside of Boston. It was about 45 minutes away, but the hospital allowed me to spend the night because it was kind of a trek, not a lot, but a little. My family is really big on visiting people while they're in the hospital, which I know their intention is very wholesome. I just don't always agree with it. But of course, I was just grateful to have my family to help out with my son, while I went through all this because I know not everybody has that privilege. This made me really stressed out though, because for one, I didn't want my son to see me in pain if it was unnecessary. I get it's a normal human experience to go through pain, and like kids are at some point going to witness their loved ones like in pain. It's a part of life. But I felt like, why impose it if it's not necessary? Like, is it really necessary to have him see me, feeling weak, feeling like I'm hurt? Like, I just thought it wasn't a good idea. Not to mention, he was like a toddler. So, like, to think of like having my toddler running around when I'm waking up from surgery, I mean, that was a scary thought. So maybe this is more for like loved ones of people with children who are having top surgery. Obviously I don't speak for everybody, and I know like everyone's circumstances don't allow for this, but maybe if possible, don't bring kids to the hospital. I feel like it adds a lot of unnecessary stress. Number two, I think a lot of people are curious as to when they likely will be able to like presume their parental responsibilities after surgery. Of course, everybody's different. I'm not a doctor. I always have to say that. For me, basically, once like I wasn't on any of the pain medication anymore, which was not long at all. I want to say I got my drains out like 48 to 72 hours later, and within the first week I was cleared to drive. So that's pretty good in my opinion. I remember by like day two-ish, because I remember still having drains, and I was able to like make food and like go out and like socialize and stuff like that. So like I wasn't completely cooped up in a room. After surgery, they put you in this binder. It looks different for everybody. I had a couple of them. This is the first one I was in, and then I was in the compression one. I actually really liked the compression one. I felt like it helped me get around more. Oh my god, I have this is a big piece of advice I have if you have school-aged children. Do not schedule your top surgery during flu season. Oh my god, I made this mistake. My son was in like a preschool program at the time, and literally right after top surgery, I think it was going into the second week. So I hadn't even been like 2 weeks out of top surgery, I don't think. I still had the binder on and everything, and we all got type A flu. Oh my god, that did hinder my recovery because I was at a point where I felt like I could get up and do things, and that just knocked me out. Like I felt really weak. I know a lot of people in general wonder like how my son like has taken my transition. Like I always say, like he doesn't even remember me before I transitioned when he was very young. But as for top surgery, there was only one moment I remember where it was maybe a little like awkward and gave me pause, and that's when the visiting nurse came over, and she was checking my bandages and everything. And my son, he ran in the room during it, and he saw my chest, and so he was concerned, like not in a way like people sometimes read into stuff in like a ridiculous way. Like his thought process was not, "Oh my god, my mom's transgender. What am I gonna do with my life?" No, he was like, "Oh my god, that's my parent, and they look like they're hurt," and he was concerned. I sat down and I talked to him about it. I let him know I was okay, like everything's fine, and he was okay. He bounced back quick. But yeah, like my son, like this is how he knows me. Like we always go to the pool, like we go to the lake, we go to the beach. After top surgery, in some situations, for me anyways, not for everybody, it could be a little awkward. Like for instance, like my parents being shirtless in front of them, it's awkward because they knew me before. Like when you have these stipulations of you need to cover this, or you need to, like, whatever, like there's social norms you have to follow. It can be harder to get used to, being shirtless. Same with, like, people around where I live. All of them are awesome. They're very understanding. They've never been mean about it or anything. But it is weird because they knew me like before when I was a girl, so it's just a little bit more awkward. You just got to get over that like hump of awkwardness. But my son, he's always like regarded me as a male, even if society doesn't always view me as a male. My son has always viewed me as a male, so like that has never been awkward. He's never asked me about it. He's just figures like it is what it is. Like he doesn't question it because he just figures, yeah, you're a dude. Why wouldn't you be shirtless at the pool? Like, so yeah, I hope that this video will like reaches somebody who it will help. I know that it would have helped me, before I had surgery, and so I hope it gives some comfort to someone who needs it. And I hope you have a good day.